Hello everyone, Mike Rempel from Another Set of Eyes with today's Excel Bytes blog post. Today we're going to take a look at building a complicated formula using multiple functions and building it from the inside out. So let me set up the scenario for you, and hopefully going through this process will help you when you have to build very complicated formulas. So here's the scenario. I have a long list of hyperlinks that go to all my blog posts. And I have those in a long list, and I want to, right next to that, create another column that just has a more descriptive explanation of what that blog post is without the other URL attributes, the HTTP, etc., etc. So in essence, we want to start out with the hyperlink and end up with what I show here in cell B3, not only stripping off the URL portions of that, but also changing the word Excel to pound with a capital E in Excel, getting rid of the dashes, replacing those with spaces, etc. In the end, this is the formula that we're going to end up building, and we're going to use 7 different functions: the if-error function, the proper function, replace, substitute, the mid function, which returns the characters from the middle of a text string, the length, which determines the length, and find to help us locate certain things within our text string. So those are the various functions we're going to use. So here we go. One thing that's common with all my blog post URLs, so they all start out http://www.excel-bytes.com/. So they all have those same characters, and they all end with that slash in them too. So since they're very consistent, we don't have to calculate specifically that number. We can just plug it into our formula, but we still have to determine what that number is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that URL, paste it down here, convert it just to text. I'm going to remove the hyperlink, and then from that I'm just going to cut back to this point here, hit enter, and then do equals length to determine what the length of that is. So that is 27 characters. So that means the D in determining is our 28th character. So we want to strip off the first 27 and then the very last one. So we want to start with the 28th character is what we want to include in our list. So we're going to start out with the mid function, and our text is going to be cell B1. And the start number we know is going to be character number 28. That's the D in the word determining. And the number of characters is going to be length of that text, and subtracting from that 28 characters, and hit enter, and now we have determining items not in a list in Excel with all the other additional or unnecessary characters stripped off of that. So we have a good start there. So the next thing we want to do is we want to substitute in this string the dashes for spaces. So we're just going to click up in our formula bar and put in the substitute function. The text is what we just built, comma. The old text is going to be the dash, so in quotes I will put a dash, comma. The new text, in quotes, I'll put a space. Close that off, hit enter, and now we've replaced the dashes with spaces. Getting real close. A few more steps to go. The next thing I want to do is replace the word Excel with pound and Excel with a capital E. So again, I'll just click into the formula bar, and I'm going to add or insert the replace function. So the old text, again, is what we've just built. Hit a comma. What's my start number? Well, my start number, we're going to use the find function to find what that starting point is. So I'll do find, and what text do we want to find? I want to find the word Excel, and comma, within what? Well, within what we just built. So I'm just going to take and highlight the mid and length functions. I'll copy that, and I'll just paste it right there. Okay, So now I'll hit comma, and what is my starting number? My starting number is, well, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to close that off. And so now we're back to the replace function. So that is our start number, is finding the word Excel there. And what is the number of characters? The number of characters is 5 characters. We know the word Excel is 5 characters long. And the new text is going to be in quotes, # Excel. Close those off, close that off, hit enter. So now we've replaced EXCEL with #EXCEL. Okay, 2 more steps to go. The next thing I want to do is put this in a proper case. Proper, capitalizing the first word in each, or the first letter in each word. So again, click up into the formula bar and go to the proper function. Close that off at the end, and now that should convert all that into the proper case. And pretty much right now it works. If I do an equals this equals that, hit enter, and I get a true because those exactly match. From my formula just to this text, it's exactly what I want it to do. The only other thing I want to add, see if I copy this down, I'm going to get an error if there is no hyperlink in the cell that's maybe right next to it. So what I want to do is wrap this in the if error function so that if I do get an error, it'll just return a blank. So that's my value, and I'm going to hit comma, and then my value, if it's an error, I'm just going to hit double quotes, close off my parentheses, hit enter, and now if I copy that down, instead of getting an error, it just returns a blank. And there you go. How to build a formula from the inside out using a whole series of functions and making it a very simple process, working your way along step by step. I hope that's worthwhile to you. I hope you can use that in building complex functions of your own. And if you'd like to see more, please go to my website, excel-bytes.com, and feel free to subscribe. Happy excelling!